Hi, I'm Niall from Gulfstream Boat Sales. Today we are taking a look around this Jeanneau Leader 805. This is a beautiful 4-berth family sports cruiser with 4 berths and 2 cabins, got a separate aft cabin. It's a great coastal seaboat, category B rated with a wide beam. It's fitted with a Volvo Penta D4 260 horsepower stern drive diesel engine, and it's in immaculate condition. It's only run for 247 hours. And it's been very lightly used. But we're going to take a walk around the boat now. We're going to show you exactly the condition that it's in. We're going to show you all the features inside, and we're also going to put it through its paces on the water to show you how this thing runs underway. The Leader 805 is around 26 feet long, but it's got a beam of 9 foot 8 inches, which is pretty unusual for a 25 or 26 foot sports cruiser. And that's what makes it such a popular boat. You get loads of internal space. It also makes it a very capable seaboat. It is category B rated for use offshore, if you so wish. This boat is in lovely condition. It's 2006. It has had only 247 hours of run times put on the engine, and it's in very nice condition. Now, it has been through our workshop. It's been given a full compound and polish, so it's looking really well. The hull is in great condition. You've got these hull windows with aluminium surrounds, the aluminium rub rail with a PVC insert as well. One of the things that we have done is we've updated the stripes. Some of the stripes were starting to flake off a wee bit, so we've updated them with brand new stripes. So it's a nice metallic charcoal and silver color scheme now, which looks really smart. But walking down along the port side of the boat, the hull is in lovely condition. We've also given it a wee lick of anti-fouling paint around the waterline in black. That will need finished off before the boat leaves. The Leader 805 badge is up here. Now, there has been a little chunk taken out of this piece, so that's the only bit of damage really to note down along this port side. But it probably wouldn't take too much to fix that, but just wanted to point that out so you know, if you are thinking about this boat or thinking about coming to see it, you know what to expect before you get here. Lovely extended swim platform on the boat. Very deep, it's probably about 3 feet deep, with an integrated swim ladder underneath this wooden step. And again, it's all in nice condition. The swim platform is unmarked. There's no damage around the rub rail on here. This stern corner on the port side is also in lovely condition. So taking a look down along the starboard side of the boat, again, it's in lovely condition. Great shape. Gel coat looks the part, both above and below the rail. Nice big chunky stainless steel cleats. We've got high stainless steel bow rails. We'll take a closer look up on deck, up at the bow. We'll take a look at the anchor and arrangement and things whenever we get on board. But the hull condition along this starboard side is very good. Again, you've got 2 portholes along this side. These new stripes, obviously in perfect condition. Look at the Jeanneau badge. We are missing a J off that badge, but we've got one on order. Got a midships cleat there, coming all the way back, this engine room vent, and the Leader 805 badge in perfect condition on this side. And all in nice condition down along the starboard side. This boat is fitted with a bow thruster, which is a really good addition, especially on these smaller sports cruisers. They can be a bit of a handful to manage if you're trying to berth the boat in on a windier day. So having the bow thruster just makes life so much easier. You've got total control over the bow. It leads to better relations with your crew and less drama in the marina. So the fact that this boat has it already installed is a very big plus point. To go about retrofitting one of these, you're talking about somewhere between £3,000 and £5,000. So having the bow thruster on there makes a big difference. Taking a look at the transom of the boat, you get a sense of how broad it is. There's a big beamy boat, a full 9 foot 8 inches wide, which is over a foot wider than most other 25, 26, 27 foot sports cruisers. So it makes it more stable in the water and also helps contribute to that category B status. Planes very easily with this engine package. This is fitted with a Volvo Penta D4 260 horsepower engine, so be the more desirable engine choice. a common rail diesel engine, very smooth, very refined motor, and there's bags of grunt out of it. It's matched up to this dual prop stern drive with counter-rotating props on her, and it gives the boat great acceleration onto the plane. This thing runs right up to close to 40 miles an hour. I think we did have it on the water. We will be showing you the full extent of that water test, sea trial footage as well, so you can see for yourself exactly how well it performs. But the stern drive's in nice condition. Props look pretty good, bronze alloy props. Trim rams and steering rams are all nice and dry. There's no leaks or anything out of any of these rams. The trim hoses look good also. Now there is the beginnings of some little hairline cracks on this upper bellow. So it probably is getting to the point where it would need replaced. It would probably do this season okay, but you would want to be thinking about replacing it over the winter. Now, if the boat sells at the asking price, we have allowed for a full set of bellows, so a full bellow replacement. So if you're buying the boat at the asking price, we can replace the bellows. But everything else back here looks good. As I said, all these trim rams, the seals are totally dry, and the steering rams are all in good condition as well. I think the oil was changed in the stern drive around about 6 or 8 months ago, so that's all up to date too. But yeah, if it's being bought at the asking price, we're going to get a new set of bellows fitted. But everything else onto the waterline looks good. So let's jump up on board and show you around the cockpit. So the huge big swim platform makes it easy to board the boat in the marina. It almost comes out to the full width, and as I said, it's about 3 feet deep, so huge big area back here. It's great for getting into the water if you're swimming off the back of the boat, or if you're doing some water sports. As you can see, this boat has a ski towing eye installed, which is pretty unusual in these boats, so you could pull the kids on a set of water skis or a rubber ring or something. This teak grate then, this wooden grate, covers the folding swim ladder, so you get a 4-step bathing ladder that folds out, a nice deep ladder, so it's easy to get in and out of the water off the back of the boat. The cleats are up high, so they're not at deck level. Huge big stainless steel cleats on port and starboard side. Keeps the lines up out of the way, means you're not going to trip over them or stub your toe on the cleat. And then we've got this open and transom gate giving you access into the cockpit, so you can lock it in position, and then it clips open, and you've got a single level cockpit, so no steps or anything, so it makes it very easy to board the boat. A couple of other things to point out back here are pull-out transom shower. So in under here, you've got a transom shower, so you can have a shower after a swim, or you can just use it to wash down the back end of the boat. We've got our Jeanneau bags back here, big cleat on the starboard side. Our Ray Marine GPS antenna lives back here, and then this is the socket for the stern light, so the anchor pole light goes in there. And then we also have the VHF aerial back here. It's a bit of a strange placement now, I have to admit, but that's where it is. Just be careful not to grab hold of it whenever you're stepping off and on the boat. One thing I want to point out, condition-wise back here, is this little wooden grate is it needs re-glued. It's sort of fairly common for these bows to let go, and this one has. It's been glued before, so it needs glued again. We can have a look at that and sort that before the boat goes. But the bathing ladder and everything is in perfect condition. And other than that, the whole back end of the boat looks the part. Coming into the cockpit, we've got this nice U-shaped lounger seating area on the starboard side. We have a chaise lounge type thing, lounger on the port side. We've got a twin wide helm seat there at the helm station, access down into the cabin, and then full walk around side decks on this boat as well. They are slightly offset, so the deck is slightly wider on this side than on the other side, as far as I know. And it's also much easier to get up this side, because just one little step here, whereas over here you'd have to sort of climb up over the seat or take the seat cushion out and step up. But let's go forward and show you this. This is great. The reason that the side deck access is good is it means that you can very easily manage your dock lines and fenders whenever you're coming in to berth the boat. You can also pass lines more easily to people on the jetty and stuff like that. So, and plus it gives you more usable space up forward. So let's take a walk up here and show you what we've got. First of all, you get your water fill point here, easy to access. You can fill your water tank. This is a little deck drain. This boat obviously is completely self-bailing, so any water, rainwater, finds its way in will bail out. Any water off the side decks is going to run into that drain and just drain over to the side of the boat. Moving forward, the bow rails quickly come up to a decent height. You get this midships cleat here, then coming all the way forward. This is all molded, apart from the shiny bits. The rest of it is all molded non-skid decking, so it's safe to walk around on. Nice high bow rails up at the bow. Huge big cleats up forward here, and we've got a massive anchor locker too. So huge big anchor locker. This is a Lumar anchor windlass with the remote control living in the wee pocket there. This is working perfectly, and loads of chain. I don't know how much chain's there, but it looks like loads. So it's a full chain rode as well. Decent sized anchor on the boat, and a nice stainless steel anchor roller there too. So really easy to raise and lower the anchor. You've also got those opening bow rails, so if you are tied up bows too, you can step through the rails to get ashore. Big chunky stainless steel cleat on both sides, and as you can see, we've got this side deck access down this side as well, but it is a bit narrower. But you can still move, with the width of my feet here, you can still move down here, no problem. And you've got your diesel fill point there, and a nice wee pocket, so if you do spill any, it'll, obviously you don't want to, but if you do, it won't run into the boat, it'll run through that deck drain and over the side. So there we go. One thing to point out up here is that we have our bars, the poles for the covers, in the storage position. So whenever you're not using the covers, you can take them off pretty easily, and these bars fold down in front of the windscreen, so you've got a completely open cockpit. You don't have the bars in the way whenever you're not using them. But we will, later on, we'll put these camper covers up and show you what they look like in position. But deck area, huge big deck, foredeck area. You could throw a towel down here, do a bit of sunbathing, and it just adds to the usable space on board. This boat is in lovely original condition. As I said, it's a 2006 boat, but it's only got 247 hours on the clock, so it's been very lightly used, which means it's in great condition. So all this upholstery is all the original upholstery, and it's perfect. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever. We've got the original Jeanneau table here as well. All the decks, this being a French boat, you know, a European boat, it's about practicality as much as comfort. So you've got just molded non-skid decking throughout, very easy to keep clean. You can lift the cushions and just hose the boat out. You know, there's not much to maintain. You don't have to be super precious about it, which is, on a family boat, it's brilliant. You know, you don't have to be worrying about scratching, you know, damaging carpets or, you know, damaging nice shiny fittings and stuff. It's just very rugged. It has these little teak caps on the gunnels and across the transom. They could do with a wee rub down and a varnish, just starting to sort of show a bit of wear there. Or you could just strip off the varnish that's there and just oil it, leave it natural. But you're probably going to want to do something with it. But that's one of the things, the joys of boating, is maintaining wood and things like that. Huge big table. You're easily going to seat maybe, let me just turn this around. Sitting at the table here, I'd say you're going to be able to accommodate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 people in the lounger, 4 or 5 in complete comfort. Seating for more over there. And you get the helm seat. So table set at a nice height. It's got these little, the Jeanneau logo laid into it, and these cup holders here. I know some owners, Nick Burnham from Aquaholic YouTube channel, he obviously has one of these boats, and I follow his videos regularly. I know Nick, and he's changed his table to a smaller one, which makes it easier to move around, which is great if you're just having drinks or something. But if you do want to eat on the boat, this big table is nice because you can sit and have a meal or whatever at it. Seat backrests come up to a nice height, nice comfortable seat upholstery. We'll remove this upholstery shortly to show you the engine access, but you can also see the storage that we have. There's tons of storage underneath the seat space as well. Dedicated storage spot for the shore power lead here. There's a big locker at the back where you can fire your fenders and dock lines in. So very, very practical as well as nice and comfortable. So moving forward, we have this nice lounger seat on the port side. There's a couple of stainless steel handrails, so you have one here. There's one up here as well, so you can hang on to that if you're standing up beside the helm. We've got one as you come in through the cockpit door as well, so plenty of handholds as you move through the boat. This is a little window down into the aft cabin, so you can open that up. Just gives you a bit more light and ventilation in the aft cabin. What else do we have over here? We've got another 3 cup holders. They're always there, obviously. So without that and that, you've got, what's that, 7 cup holders. Stereo speakers here as well on both sides. And then this nicely appointed helm station. Twin wide helm seat. Underneath this one, this flip folds forward and you have a little cooler box. So nice little sort of cooler, insulated cool box. So you got an insulated lid here, insulated box, so you can fire some ice packs in there, and you got lots of room for putting in, you know, bottles of juice or wine or whatever. You fire a lot of beer in there, and it has a wee drain in the bottom of it as well, so you can drain it out whenever the ice melts. So that's a really clever addition too. All the wee hinges and stuff are all perfect. Upholstery and things all good. The actual helm seat has this flip up bolster, so you can fold that up. So you can sit on top of the bolster looking over the top of the windscreen, or you can sit lower down looking through the screen. Underneath the seat we have access into our battery isolator switches. You get your isolator switches there. We've got a, what's that, the handle for the windlass, and then just a bit of storage in here. A little bit of storage. So let's just, while we're here actually, let's just turn the batteries on. That's their boat powered up. So we'll take a look through the dash here now, and then we'll head downstairs. So we have a nice comfortable helm seat here. There's room for another passenger beside me, and a really nicely appointed helm station. So first thing you'll notice, this beautiful solid wood steering wheel. Perfect condition, really nice high polish finish there. Nice wooden dash as well. Everything falls easily to hand. So we've got, this boat's obviously fitted with a Volvo Penta D4 260, which is fly-by-wire throttle and shift, so electric throttle and shift, so nice smooth throttle action. The throttle lever falls easily to hand. We've got our EBC control panel here. We've got our trim switch for trimming the stern drive up and down here. Trim gauge as well, fuel gauge, bow thruster controls. I went through all of this in detail on the sea trial, so I'll not repeat myself now, but we got a nicely appointed dash here, and good visibility through the screen. So if you are going on a longer passage or anything, you know, it's going to be a real comfortable boat to drive on longer trips. You know, this boat will easily make sort of, you know, 3-4 hour coastal trips in a day in comfort. It's a nice running boat as well, and as I said, it's got that category B coastal rating. Up on top of the dash, we've got our steering compass, we've got a Raymarine C70 chart plotter, and we've got an ICOM ICM 421 VHF radio. And all this equipment is all working perfectly. All the controls, we've got our bilge pump switch here. We labels wore off it, but that's your bilge pump switch. You've got your freshwater pump, nav lights, which are all working as well. And then your anchor light switch. All the EBC stuff, I'll just key on to show you the current engine hours. Again, I think I looked at this on the sea trail, but it's currently got 247.2 hours on the clock. Lovely helm station, very easy to boat to drive. If you are making the step up from a smaller sports cuddy or maybe a bow rider, and this, if you're looking at your first sports cruiser, this is a manageable boat to handle, and the fact that it has the bow thruster makes it a breeze around the marina as well. There's room, obviously you get the flip up bolster, you can sit up a little higher at the helm, and you've also got plenty of room to stand here too, and you've got great visibility all the way around the boat. So yeah, lovely thing to drive, but check out the water test footage now to see exactly how this boat performs underway. We're at the slipway this afternoon with this Jeanneau Leader 805. So this is a 2006 boat with the more desirable Volvo Penta D4 260 horsepower stern drive diesel. It's only got 246 or 47 hours on the clock, I think. And it's a beautiful boat, in lovely condition, very lightly used, and always good to get one of these 805s in because they're super popular. Let me see if I can see the prop size on these ones. A pair of bronze Volvo props. They are, let's see here, G4. Yeah, Volvo G4 props. That's a G4 rear, and we've got a G4 front. prop's in pretty good condition. Steering drive's in nice shape as well. And yeah, just a lovely boat this. So we're going to launch it now. We're going to put it on the water and put her through her paces and show you exactly how this boat performs on the water. So we're on the water now. We've got the boat launched in the river and it's running lovely. So I'm going to put the boat on the plane now. I'll show you, take it up to sort of cruising speed, and then we'll do a full speed run as well and just show you exactly how this boat performs on the water. But first of all, just to walk you through the controls quickly, we've got EVC controls on this boat, so digital fly-by-wire throttle and shift controls, and EVC control panel up here for starting the engine, EVC trim as well. We've got our bow thruster controls here also. But throttle and shift is fly-by-wire, so you engage forward, you have a slight pause, and then it takes up forward gear. Back to neutral, go for reverse. Again, same thing, slight pause, and then you get the gear engaging. So that's all working really well. Nice controls. Steering's nice and light. Hydraulic steering on this boat is nice and light. And you know, I'm sitting down. This is me sitting on top of the engine, of the seat bolster, and I'm looking straight through the middle of the screen. Plenty of room to stand, and you get great visibility whenever you've got the covers down. Great visibility all the way around the boat from a standing position. And if we fold the seat bolster down, you're sitting sort of nice and low. The only thing is the chart plotter slightly obscures your view whenever you're sitting down without the bolster up, but I think probably sitting on top of the bolster is maybe the most convenient position. Trim the drive down for getting on plane, so drive trim fully down. All the instruments on this boat are working perfectly. We've got our oil pressure here, temperature here, tacho with built-in hour clock, currently showing 247 hours on the clock for this boat. Voltmeter showing 13.6 volts, so it's charging okay. And you get your little multi-function warning system for the Volvo as well. And the other thing we're going to be looking at here is the Raymarine chart plotter. So speed reading's a little bit small, 4.2 knots at idle. This is your depth readout here, 20 foot of water, and your little chart display as well. So we will try and look at this speed reading when we're underway, but it might be hard to pick up on the camera. Radio and stuff all works. Everything in this boat's fully operational. So trim down. I'm going to put the boat on plane here now. It's up on plane in a heartbeat. So here we go. Get lined up. You don't even need to give it full throttle either. About half throttle this thing goes. But let's get her on plane and take her up to cruising speed. There you go, on plane in a few seconds. You don't lose sight of the horizon either. And she sits and runs lovely at this sort of speed. So we've got the trim fully down, the drive trim. We're doing 2700 RPM on the tacho. Oil pressure, temperature, all looks good. And we're doing 20 knots, just over 20 knots, 20.8 knots. There we go, so that's really comfortable cruising speed, 2700 RPM, 20 knots, nice and relaxed, boats feel super smooth. What we'll do now is we'll bring the speed up a wee bit, we'll give it some trim on the drive, trim up the drive angle a wee bit. So lift the leg up and go full throttle here. So she should rev out to about 3700 RPM or thereabouts. Motor in now. That's us running at 3700 RPM. Temperature and pressure look good. We're doing 31.5 knots here. running here at 3,000 RPM, which I would sort of class as your fast cruise. 3,000 RPM. We're doing 24 knots. That's going to be your sort of fast cruise. That's how the Leader 805 runs with the Volvo Penta D4 260 horsepower stern drive. There's bags of power in this boat. It gets up on plane quickly. We're lightly loaded here today, but it's on the plane in a heartbeat. Then you don't lose sight of the horizon. Even with a full complement of passengers on board, this thing's going to plane very easily. And it's just a really smooth running boat, nice solid feeling boat as well. You know, it's that extra bit of beam that you get on these Leader 805s really does make a difference to how solid it feels in the water. And this boat, the minimum planing speed was around about 16 knots that we found today. The maximum speed flat out we saw was 32 or 31.9 knots, which is about 35, 36, 37 miles an hour, something like that. And the cruising, your sort of comfortable cruising speed is going to be anywhere from around about 19, 20 knots up to 24, 25 knots. So the engine's, you know, nice and smooth. It's not too noisy at those sort of speeds. You can have conversations with your passengers and just make your, you know, nice relaxed progress. Everything in this boat is working perfectly as well. All the instruments are working perfectly. The Raymarine C70 chart plotter is working perfect, giving us our depth speed information and our chart plotter as well. I've tested the bow thruster and all on this one as well, and it's responded well to that. Throttle and shift's nice. All the controls are nice and smooth and solid, which you would expect from a boat that's only run for 247 hours. So yeah, it's easy to see why these Leader 805s are so popular. They're a very assured boat on the water. They behave and feel like a much bigger boat on the water as well. So I'm really impressed with how this one's running, and hopefully you are too. We're going to put the boat back on plane now and head back to the slipway. And yep, so that's how the Leader 805 runs. Hope you found the video useful. Thanks for watching. Access into the cabin is through this sliding perspex door. So it's sliding nicely on the runners. You can lock the door as well. And then we've got 3 steps down in to the cabin. The cabin is what really sets this boat apart from the competition in my mind. For a 26-foot sports cruiser, there's tons of space down here, and that's mainly due to the fact that it has that 9-foot 8 inches beam, and it makes the absolute most of it downstairs. But the big thing that families love and owners rave about is the fact it has a separate aft cabin. So you've got a fully enclosed separate aft cabin for a lot more privacy. So if you've got older kids, or if you maybe like to go boating with friends and you want a bit more privacy on board, that separate aft cabin, you know, you've got 2 totally private sleeping areas, which is great. We've also got a nice toilet and shower compartment in here. Got a great galley with gas cooking facilities, microwave, hot and cold running water, and a lovely big U-shaped V-berth area up forward here. So lots of natural light down in here as well, and again, all very practical, you know, hard surfaces. The carpets are snap-ins, you can pull them up and you've got hard decks underneath. Very easy to keep the boat clean, and again, you know, just low maintenance, but plenty of comfort too. So let's take a walk around it in a bit more detail and show you all the features in here. So we've got a nicely appointed galley here. We've got a twin ring gas hob that looks like it's almost never been used. And I'll show you the gas bottle actually outside as well. But this means you've got cooking facilities, no matter whether you're in the marina or staying on the anchor, or you're away from shore power, you've still got your gas cooking facilities. These nice little polished stainless steel backing plates as well protect the woodwork and the countertop from the heat. We've got a microwave here as well that works off shore power. We've got hot and cold running water here at the sink. Bit of storage in here. There's another speaker. There's two more stereo speakers down here, as well as two in the cockpit. You get your light switch up here, so it's easy to get to whenever you step down into the cabin. And then we have our Waco refrigerator in here. It's a 12-volt unit, so again it works off battery power, so you don't have to be plugged into shore power to keep your food and drinks cool. And then we've got just a nice big storage compartment underneath the sink. So nice little galley. It'll easily, it'll serve you well for a weekend away or a long weekend on the water. And it's all in beautiful condition. You'll see as we go through this boat, almost unused. Everything's immaculate, so really nice condition. So we have our big U-shaped V-berth area, which works as a huge dinette during the day. It'll easily accommodate 5 or 6 people. And then at night time, you can drop the table down. There's a short leg, goes in, you drop the table down, and you fill that area. Then there's filler cushions in the aft cabin, so you fill that whole area in, and it makes it up into a huge big bed. So that's probably your biggest bed. You've got an overhead deck hatch there, so you can open that up for a bit of natural light and ventilation. It also works as an escape hatch. There is little button poppers you'll see here, and a cover. Oh, sorry. So you've got these little covers you can put over the deck hatch. You can put them over the port lights as well, so you can black the boat out at night time. These little curtains actually screen off the portholes. Nice mirror up forward. What else do we have here? We've got a little power socket here, a little 240-volt power socket. We have storage underneath all these seats. Dock lines and stuff are just fired in there, out of the way for now. Seat cushions are in perfect condition as well. This is all the original upholstery in here. More storage in there and access to your toilet. Seacocks, so incoming and outgoing water. This boat's actually fitted with a holding tank. I should say not all these Jeanneaus are, so if you were thinking about using it on a lake, it has a holding tank already installed. And then in under here is your bow thruster battery, bow thruster isolator switch, and bow thruster motor. Neat, tidy installation, and all in very good condition. So storage around the seat backs, little pockets there you can store stuff in on both sides. Obviously the storage onto the seats. And then on this port side we have our stereo head unit, so it's a Sony stereo and it's all working as well. Let's see if we can get a station here.
Everything associated with their images, right? So the shape of their body. So they're talking about virtual reality.
So there's a CD changer in here for it as well, and actually a tape deck, so it's showing its age a wee bit, but it's all working perfectly. So there we go, CD player's working too. So there you go, nice little stereo. So this is a hanging locker then on the starboard side. So open that up. We got a little rail in there. This is where you get the short table leg for dropping the table down at night time. And you've got your Y valve or your diverter valve for the toilet system. So you can either point that to the holding tank or point it to discharge straight overboard if you're out at sea. That's your 10-disc CD changer there as well, which is all working. All the joinery and everything's in beautiful condition. Headlining's perfect. This is a nice solid surface headliner, so it's easy to keep clean. All the little downlighters are perfect. Just the whole cabin is in immaculate condition. Then this is our toilet and shower compartment. So again, this is a good size for a 26-foot boat, good size. The door's a wee bit of a pinch getting in through the door, but once you're in there, it widens out, so you get a decent bit of elbow room. We've got a pump out Jabsco toilet. We have, again, hot and cold running water here. This lifts out. You can have a shower in here. The whole floor is all lined and it drains into the shower sump. So it drains in there and it's pumped overboard. We have a little, what's that, a fresh water level gauge. So that shows you how much fresh water you have in your tank. Bit of storage in underneath there. And storage behind the toilet, and then you get this little opening port light in here for a bit of natural light and ventilation with a curtain to cover it off. So beautiful condition and a good little heads compartment, which will serve you well for longer days on the water or overnights on board. Yeah, it's everything you need. Wee vanity mirror there too on the back of the door. And then let's take a look at the aft cabin. So again, all the joinery and woodwork is perfect. The doors are opening and closing well. This boat has obviously been fairly well looked after and properly stored, although it hasn't been used very much. It's obviously been stored properly, because if not, the sort of woodwork starts to warp and all this sort of stuff, but there's none of that on this boat. So this aft cabin is a fantastic, it's amazing how much room they have in here. Full standing headroom at the door. You get your light switch there on the left hand side. You get this little seat, a wee occasional seat. You can sit there if you're getting changed or something. We've got another opening port light in here with curtains to screen it off. And then we have a full, almost the full width of the boat, this double bed. So it goes underneath the cockpit. These are your filler cushions and your filler piece for the making up the bed at the V-berth up forward. And then this is your anchor light that plugs into the socket on the back of the boat that we talked about. Some overhead deck lights are sort of downlighters in there, and a wee storage cupboard with a hanging rail there, so you can hang up shirts and stuff like that in there. Bit of storage on top. All these storage areas are all fiddled edges on them, so if you put bits and pieces on there, they're not going to fall off when the boat's underway. And a wee storage shelf there too. So lovely condition. Again, all the original upholstery. It's all perfect. Bit of service access underneath the bed to some of the tanks and things. And again, another piece of removable carpet. Let's just show you this. So these wee carpets, you can take these out, which we did, and give them a clean. And you've moulded non-skid decking underneath. So again, very easy to keep clean. It means during the winter time, you can take all your cushions and carpets and everything home and keep them at home. So it keeps them all nice and fresh for the start of the next season. So there you go. Fantastic aft cabin in beautiful condition like the rest of the boat. So we have the cushions removed now to show you the access into the engine room. But before we do that, I'll just show you what we have in terms of storage and things back here. So they've made use of every available space. So in here is your gas locker. So your little gas bottle lives in there. This is just an open storage area, so you can access this whenever the seats are all in position and the table's in position. You can just, and this tends to be where people keep their fenders and things. You just fire them down in there, handily out of the way. If you want to, you can lift it up to get better access to it. Obviously, there's bailers all the way around here. Every low point has a drain because, as I said, this is a self-bailing boat. So any water finds its way in will drain overboard. Over here is where the shore power cable lives. So plugs in there. There's room to store it down here, and it's easy to fish that out. Even again with the cushions in position, you can easily lift that one cushion, reach in, grab the cable, and run it out over the side to plug in. We've got our manual bilge pump here. There's a wee handle for it, which stores in one of the cupboards. So that's a manual bilge pump, just works as a backup to the main electric one. This is our builder's plate with our category rating. So it's category B rated for 7 passengers and category C rated for 9. So whenever you're in close to shore, you can carry 9 people on board. If you're heading offshore, your recommended maximum passenger capacity is 7. So what else do we have? Let's leave that up actually to open the engine hatch. In here we've got more storage. This is where we've got the fenders and stuff. You can see this is the little, that's the little handle there for the bilge pump over there. So as you can see, everything is with this boat, so it's all complete, which is good. A lot of times bits and pieces like this go missing, but everything is here. Trying to do this one-handed is not easy. There we go. But yeah, the fact that all these bits and pieces are all here with the boat is obviously a very good sign. It shows that it has been taken care of. And now to access the engine, we fold this up, push this button in, that releases this boil, and now we can pull the handle. And this whole section lifts up on a couple of gas struts to give us access into the engine room and the laserette. Again, huge amount of room in here. So this is the laserette in front of the engine. So you got a ton of space for storage. So you could carry things like, I know people that keep like dinghies in here and wee outboards for their dinghies and extra fenders and all sorts of stuff. So you have a massive big area here where you can store stuff. And then you've got your engine bay behind. So let's take a wee look around here. Over on this side, we've got our battery charger up there. We've got our main incoming shore power circuit breaker. And we've got what's this, some sort of, is that like a galvanic isolator or something? But that's all your shore power gubbins, so your main shore power breaker. Your batteries live underneath these panels here. You do have to, well, I think you can just actually pull it out here like this. Yeah, let me just put the camera down 1 second. So there's a little bit of faffing around required to get that out, but you've got your 2 battery boxes in underneath that little panel there. And you can secure that in position. Then over on this side, on the port side, we have our hot water calorifier. So you've got your calorifier in there for your hot water tank, and you've got your switches for your hot water, your battery charger, and your shore power main. So, I think, no, these are your sockets actually, sockets and battery charger, and then hot water. So, easy to get to. And you've got your little, that's a wee fresh water pump and an accumulator beside it there. So all nice, neat, tidy installation. And then down in here, you got your engine. So that lovely Volvo D4 260. One of the things we're going to do is upgrade the raw water strainer. So Volvo released an upgraded lid for these raw water strainers because sometimes these plastic ones can leak. And now this one's not, it's perfect, but it's just a good thing to do. So there's a stainless steel lid with a clear glass section, so you can actually see that the boat's circulating water as well. So it's really good. So every time we see one that comes in like this, we always upgrade it to that newer version. So we're going to do that as part of the sale. But it's all nice and neat and tidy. The owner tells me that the engine was serviced within the last year. The oil filters look good. The pulleys and things are all in good condition. Belts look good. You know, this thing has obviously only run for, what, 247 hours. So it's hardly even run in. But it's nice that it looks cosmetically really good as well as having those low hours. Engine room vents and stuff over here. That's your macerator pump. So if you want to empty the holding tank, you can empty that at sea. Or you can empty it at the pump out station. So that's your holding tank. Bilge pump and float switch down in there, they're all working. Diesel pre-filter, automatic fire extinguisher, and your trim motor and stuff, shift actuator, all back in there. So this is a nice, clean, tidy engine room, and it looks to be in very good condition. So this boat is as nice mechanically as it is cosmetically. This boat has a full set of camper canvas covers. You can see the bars parked in front of the windscreen there at the minute, but what we're going to do is we're going to put those covers up on the boat. We're going to take a bunch of photographs and do another little video to show you what the boat looks like with the covers in position. So this boat is obviously sitting on a trailer here. Now the trailer is not included in the asking price. This is a storage trailer that the owner has for the boat, but I think he might possibly have another job for it. However, if you do need a storage and launching trailer, it might possibly be available by a separate negotiation. So just in case anybody's wondering about the trailer, that is the story on the trailer. So there you go, that's our Jeanneau Leader 805, 2006 boat with only 247 hours on the clock. Great spec with the Volvo Penta D4 260 horsepower diesel engine, the bow thruster, the anchor windlass, the camper covers, and all the rest of it. It's a very lightly used example. I think it's in beautiful condition. For the year, the cabin's perfect, the upholstery's all perfect. and they're just a fabulous sort of entry level into the family sports cruising lifestyle. You know, it's a fast boat. It'll get you home in a hurry if you want to. You can even do a bit of water sports with it, but it's got space on board to accommodate 4 in complete comfort. And with the gas cooking facilities and stuff like that, you can, you know, spend extended times away from the marina as well. So this one is a lovely example. They're pretty rare boats. They're very desirable. We're not expecting this one to hang around too long. If you're interested in it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Give me a call on the number at the top of our webpage, or send me an email to niall@gulfstreamshop.com, or fill out the callback request form on this page of our website, and I'll contact you at a time that's convenient. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful.